Hi everyone, it's Muktadir from Business and Digital Marketing Mastermind Group. So today I've got a special guest speaker. I've got Nick from Secret Influencer. So before I introduce to Nick, I just wanted to say to you guys, today's lesson is going to be a valuable lesson for all of you who want to start marketing online, because Nick is an expert in copywriting. So without me talking much, I'm going to pass you on to Nick. And I'm going to introduce to Nick. This is Nick from Secret Influence Group. So hi, Nick, you okay?
Great, yeah. Thanks for inviting me. It's great to be here. Great to be chatting tonight.
Good. So Nick, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself and to our audience what you do and how you got started?
Sure. So ever since I was a child, there were two things that I always was fascinated by, and that was understanding people and writing. I always used to write stories as a kid. Yeah. So when I went to university, I studied sociology and English, because that was obviously the writing and the understanding people, and that basically set the pace for my work, my career. When I left university, I went on to study marketing and got work in public relations. So I worked for a lot of government bodies, private companies, running public relations campaigns and getting exposure and promoting their brand in the media. Yeah. And then I did that around 10 years, and then I did about 10 years working internal communications, so working for sort of international companies and international charities, doing engagement campaigns, behavior change campaigns to up to 10,000 staff globally. But the one thing that's gone through all my roles, in communication marketing is copywriting. It's a one constant, and it's a one skill that if you work in marketing, you have to be a good writer. You have to be a good speaker and a good writer. So
our audience who might know what copywriting is. So what exactly is copywriting, and what, as a copywriter, what do you actually do in the terms of marketing, say, online?
So the term copywriting originally meant just advertising copy. But so copywriting means any written text for anything related to business, essentially. So if you are all online copy, website copy, social media copy, even if you write an article in a magazine or newsletter, a report, it all comes under the copywriting banner. So anything that is business writing, essentially, is copywriting. So any marketing, any business writing.
Oh, fantastic. Cool. Guys, if you guys got any questions, please do leave a comment below, and Nick will answer your question. So Nick, how did you form your company, Secret Influencer, and how is it going? And do you want to tell us a bit about it and tell our audience about it?
Sure. So it was about 4 years ago, I was made redundant, and it was the third time being made redundant. But it's not that unusual. I'm sure a lot of people following, have been made redundant or know someone has. But when I was made redundant about 4 years ago, I was buying a family house, which was about to have our first child. So it wasn't good timing. So I was made redundant, got another contract in King's Cross, and my wife had a baby in Euston, UCL Hospital, fairly close, about 10 minutes away. And my wife had the baby, and it was obviously the most amazing, exciting time of my life. And barely 24 hours, and when we left the hospital, and we're just leaving, and I said to the nurses as we were walking out, our lips supposed to be blue, and suddenly, bam, 20 doctors and nurses descended, and my baby stopped breathing, and that's why his lips were blue. So my baby spent about 3 weeks in hospital, emergency care, and I was in working this time in this job in King's Cross, our contract, and I was literally sort of getting up at 3 in the morning, go to hospital 4 hours, and then running to my job, and then running back at lunchtime, and then running back to my job, and then spending the evening till late, by my baby's time about. I did it, every day for 3 weeks, so it felt like 3 years, and I all can remember is that beep, beep, beep. So, often in life you can have these defining moments where you have a realization you got to make a change. So to me, I've been working for 25 years in different roles in communications, and really enjoyed my career path, and achieved a lot. But I didn't, I've been made redundant 3 times, so I didn't want to just get another job and risk being made redundant. But also, I get a bit of a realizing moment that it's not, most of us are pretty good at communicating. And if I ask people, what do you do? They could say about their job, they could say about their product, their business, but influencing is the key art, and that's what really fascinated me. So it's such an important skill, and if you want to get a job, you have to influence the interviewers. And why people don't get jobs is because they go to the interview and they say they clearly but they can do the job and what their skills, the background, the qualifications is, but they can't influence. So if you want to get a promotion, you have to influence your boss. If you've got business, you've got to influence your audience to buy your product and service. Otherwise, obviously, you won't make sales or money. It's important. So when I had this moment where I've made redundant, my baby was born out, I thought, one, I want to work for myself, and also that I wanted to use my skills in copywriting communications to help small business entrepreneurs not just be better at communicating, and writing content, but actually be able to, use it to influence. So I studied NLP and psychology, and I did a lot of coaching consultancy around sort of communication influence to organizations, and I still do that, most online now. And I wrote my book, which launched last November, called Seek Influence.
Oh, nice.
Power, so very exciting, and that basically was how to communicate powerfully, but also how to influence, and all the sort of tricks and tips for how to influence, mainly around copywriting, and other methods. So.
Yeah, no, that's fun. You said you've got a book, is it? Is that book's been published now? Is it how could so if say one of our viewers wants to download or purchase how much is it, or where can they go in order to purchase the book?
So it's on Amazon, and when it launched, it got to number 5 in the marketing category of books. So I was very proud of that. If you go on Amazon, search for Seek Influence, you can Persuade Power, you'll find it, or I can share a link. So
the link I'll leave you in the comment below at the end, so the viewers, if they want to, they could go and purchase. I mean, I'm a marketer myself, and I have to do copywriting, especially when I do say Facebook ads or Instagram ads or LinkedIn ads. Copywriting is very essential skill for all businesses who wants to do marketing online. So how does someone get started in copywriting? So someone, say as a marketer, or someone who's running their own business and wants to start marketing their product or service online, how do they get here, and what kind of gotchas or do's and don'ts they need to watch out for? Can you explain to us?
Sure. So, I just want to start by saying that, if you run your own business, particularly if we're sort of a solopreneur, we're just starting out, that, everything we do is an opportunity to, promote our brand along the lines of the elevator pitch. So if we meet people socially or a networking event, we should see that's an opportunity to, promote our business. It's the same with writing. So if we meet someone and we send them an email afterwards, we see as an opportunity to engage them and build a relationship and sell our brand or product. And it's the same with social media posts. Even if we're got a business and we're writing social media, anything to do with our business, that's an opportunity to grow our business. So if we're a business person or an entrepreneur, we have to be good we have to have a certain skill in speaking and copywriting, because every time we write, every time we speak, we should be promoting our business, promoting our every opportunity to promote ourselves. And with copywriting, I think what it comes down to is, we're an incredibly competitive world, and we're distracting more than ever. We're swamped, especially on social media. I think I read somewhere, we're scrollers, these high to Eiffel Tower every day on our phones, and it's not a weapon of mass destruction; it's a weapon of mass distraction. We have to fear, So basically, the challenge is that how do we stand out and catch people's attention in that sort of 5 seconds when people are searching on Google or they're just scrolling for social media? How you have such a short time to catch your attention, and 80% of people don't read past the headline, and so they don't read your article, don't read your ad because they didn't get past the headline. So the first thing I'd say is, you have to catch people's attention, you have to hook them in, and then it starts with a powerful headline, and whether it's something that intrigues people, or it's a bit of a question or a shock, but shock factor, but you've got to catch people's attention, and all copywriting, all communications, it's about making it relevant to your audience. So obviously knowing who your audience is, I mean, really sort of drilling down to who your message is aimed at, and then with all content tailoring it to them so that it resonates, and they they read it and think, wow, that makes sense. That's talk to me.
Yeah, one thing I do, because I do a lot of ad copies for my clients as well. One thing I find, as you say, for example, a Facebook ads, it's in a bidding system, and when they go through the feeds and whatnot, it needs to catch the attention, as you discussed. And do you think is it just the copy, and all? What's more important in your eyes, I would say, for when you're running an ads or doing some sort of copywriting for a landing page or a website? Is it the creative, or is it the actual wording that you use? What have you, from your experience of copywriting, like, have you found, or is it the call to action that gets people attention, or why is it, like, is there some sort of like steps that you need to follow as a copywriter in order to get people's attention?
I mean, I think definitely the call to action is so important, because if you're doing any sort of marketing, if you should always have a call to action. So do you want people to like or subscribe or click here, download here? Do you want to buy? There needs to be a call to action, otherwise it kind of serves no purpose. So you need to have a call to action which is really direct, clear, obvious, and how you word that and where you put it. There's a bit of psychology to that, but definitely I would say with Facebook ads and landing pages, there is a mixture of having the right image and there's a bit about the right colors. But I would definitely say the wording is so important. There's so much research for certain words, like power words or trigger words. People read them and subconsciously straight away they have they react to them. So even in the words you choose can have will have an effect, and definitely. I mean,
of course. I mean, like, I do copy. I mean, I do copywriting not in the level as you do. Even to now, when I do like ad copy for my clients, when I'm running Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads, one thing I find out every time is every ads are different and every copies are different. So you got to adjust it to your audience, targeted audience. So, example, if you're running an ad for someone someone in a fishing niche, their ad copy is going to be and the creative is going to be different than someone if you're, say, a B2B business where you're selling someone's service or lead generation to collect someone's email address or telephone number. So the ad copy is always going to be different. And copywriting is like, it's a skills that you need to master, and it takes time. And I noticed that, and the people out there like yourself, do this day in, day out, is still perfecting these kind of skills. So copywriting is something, if you could get it right, you can get a lot of sales as a marketer, as a business owner, or as an entrepreneur. So even if you're starting in online business, you need to have this you need to be a good in copywriting. So what makes a good copywriter, Nick, in your opinion?
I think to be a good copywriter, you have to you've got to understand people, because at the end of the day, you are trying to change people's behaviour. So whether that's you're trying to get someone to do a certain call to action, what you want them to read your copy and do something. So whether it's click on an ad or download something, and so it's understanding. I think to be a good copywriter, you've got to understand what motivates people. What are people's needs, and what are people's emotions, what do people connect with, and by understanding that, then you can use your copy to connect to people in that way. I mean, a lot of it's about establishing rapport. So in the communication now, they hear a lot of this term about engagement. So in the old way was we would have this authoritative article or adverts and people would buy, but now it's a lot about engagement. So that's the whole thing of social media. We people expect value. They expect lots of points of contact. You won't buy one off. You've got to build a relationship. And part of that, so the more you can do that by offering value and building a relationship. And the ideal thing, obviously, isn't to have a one-off customer or client. You want them to be a fan of your brand, so there's repeat business and there'll be word of mouth marketing. And the way you do that is by understanding what motivates them, what their needs are, what their problems or issues are, and then all your messages, all your copy is tailored around that. You're giving them value to help solve their problem and build a relationship, and then obviously at some point you'll offer the solution.
One thing you did touch on is branding. I mean, branding is very important, because people associate, whether you're starting in business or existing business owner, especially online space. What I see the trend is, building the brand through, having a good, if you're advertising a product or service, people, if you have a strong brand, people will always recognize you, and it's easier. You could, like, for example, Nike, when they do their ads online, or say Coca-Cola, their copywriting is so simple. Their ad copy is so simple. Like, oh, we've got this flavor of Coke, cherry Coke, and people go and buy them because they've got a strong brand. But if you're a lot of businesses, they don't have the strong brand. So this is why copywriting is important, because copywriting is grabbing someone's attention. Say, look, we are in business. We provide the same service as, say, Joe down the road. Why you should come buy from us. And this is why copywriting, as I said, is a very important skills to have. And getting people's attention, especially when you're running an ad. And how would you say in someone on a website in copywriting, how could they use copywriting on their website to, say, someone goes to their landing page or website to do some sort of call to action? What kind of method would you use?
So, I mean, I think a lot of branding and a lot of copywriting, is about sort of engaging with your audience, and one of the best ways to do that is by storytelling. So if you look at, big brands, they build their brand by telling stories, and a lot is about, their values. So if you look at Nike, say, or those big brands, they've built up their following, they built up their brand by inspiring people, motivating people through stories about who uses their brand. Use Nike and you can become a super athlete. It's a style thing. It's you can achieve all these things. It's they've associated values and dreams and all these sort of images and emotions with through storytelling. And business is people. We buy from people, connect to people. So people don't. That's what the big brands have so successfully done so often. We don't like the faceless corporate company, which often obviously big companies are, but it's by giving that human story to it. So what I would say is, if you're putting content on your website, obviously you've got messages, you want to inform them and give a key message, but you want to do it in a way that tells a story. And if you look at your business, who are what's the story behind why you started a business, who you are, what motivated you, what are your values, because that's what people connect with, and that's what will get people interested to read of it. So I'll definitely say, storytelling is a massive part.
Excellent, Nick. Well, one of the questions I have got for you, Nick, is why Secret Influence as your branding name? What made you use that on your copywriting? Then say it's different. Why? Well, who came up with the name, and why did you go with Secret Influence? Why secret?
Well, good question. So the reason is because I find it so fascinating about influence, and I definitely believe in life. If you can't influence, influence about sort of control and behavior change, and not in a bad way, but if you can't influence others in life, then obviously life will influence you. So if you want to control direction of your career, you need to influence your boss and the HR department, your colleagues. If you want to better behave children, influence them. But in business, you've got to be able to influence your audience to buy your products and follow you. And it's not good enough just to be able to sort of communicate what you do, it's all about a why. And so much of that is quite, so much influence is quite subtle, and we're bombarded with messages everywhere we turn, and often a way we influence people is on that sort of subtle message. It's a I mean, a great example I think is, if you want to look at it, good example of copywriting is if you go to a tube station and you see a big advert,
exactly.
5-10 seconds, people walking past, catch someone's attention to a message, and they'll often just have like a slogan or a headline, maybe the logo of a company, maybe a website or something. That's it. So most advertising in tubes, it hasn't got much text. There is some, but most of it's just a headline. And it's very, very clever actually. What stops your attention? And it's the ones that are. But some use humour, some use, quite often it's humour, some, ask a question, getting intrigued. But it's looking at ways that, but it's used as little techniques, and what motivates people. We like humour, we like to see things. There's a saying in NLP, people like themselves. If you see something that connects with you, on a subconscious level, you meet someone at a networking event.
Exactly.
Wearing a sort of same coloured shirt, and they've got the same mannerisms, and subconsciously you think, well, something about this person, I really like them. I don't know what it is, because we connect with people who are like us. So that's if you can, and that's what influence so much is. It's about putting across messages that will connect to people, rapport, and that's why it's called secret influence. It's
fantastic.
In a positive way, but it's not, it's using little tips and tricks to.
Of course, fantastic. Nick, I've been studying you, and not studying you, but I've been watching you in Facebook and things like that. So one of the things I want to find out a bit more about you as a person, not just your brand, but your person. So I've got quick fire questions for you, just a quick one, quick as you can. So you ready?
Oh, wait.
Okay. What do you like, tea or coffee?
Oh, tea.
Okay. What was your first car?
I don't drive actually, so.
Okay, nice.
Oh no. So our family car was a big, massive Volvo. In producer nowadays, but we had quite a big family, so it was like an enormous, like box-like Volvo. We used to squeeze all in.
Cool. What's the best piece of advice you ever received from anyone?
Oh, lots of advice.
Stick out for you. You're in business and in your life, your personal life that you always carry with you. If you got one.
I think. There's not so much advice, but I would say do what you're passionate about, and. So if you the more passionate about something, the more motivated you are, and life can be tough and business can be stressful, and that but if you're passionate, and then you're more likely to be motivated to push for those those hard times, and everyone I think makes little adjustments in the direction they take and the decisions they take, but if it's motivated by what excites you and we're passionate about life. That's
absolutely fantastic advice. iPhone or Android?
Android.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to go, but I'm an iPhone guy. Where would you like to retire when you had enough of copywriting and marketing? Eventually, and when you made the millions.
Well, I definitely like to do lots of traveling. I've got some. Long story, but I've got some family in Thailand, and I've been out there quite a few times on holiday. So I could see myself on a Thai holiday with my laptop.
Always wanted to go to Thailand, to be honest. That's one on my bucket list, to be honest. One day we'll go there. What is better to have a certificate or experience?
Experience every time. Yeah, no, definitely. I think certificates can be useful. Obviously, if you particularly in certain fields, I think with technical areas, you can only to a certain extent, sometimes learn skills through doing a qualified course. But I would say, experience, because even learning in a live environment where it's practical and knowledge, experience, knowledge with in a practical way. I think definitely is always better than just
well, absolutely. I think if you experience, you cannot be experienced, as they say. You know what I mean? I've got 2 more questions. Well, one of them is, tell me 2 things that you would change about yourself. That's a bit of a.
That's a good one. Throw me there. I think.
I mean, if you can't think about it, don't worry. Well, we can move on to the next question if you want to. Okay, the last one is, what motivates you? What would you say what motivates you?
That's quite an easy one. I mean, I've got a 4-year-old son, and he always clearly, as I'm sure you've got children, he's loving my life, and he's a lovely age. He's very, very funny, very curious, and very entertaining. Is his language develops. So basically, everything I do is motivated by him, and he's my inspiration. So I'd say definitely, my family, but also, in my business, genuinely, putting the client, customer first, because if you have a satisfied customer or clients, then you're going to have, repeat business. You're going to get, your ideal thing, and it's so true, is you want to turn your customers into fans. They'll provide a testimonial, they'll write good reviews to other people. It's the best way. So having a satisfied, client customer, it's a win-win, for them, and it's a win-win for you. And it's so worth investing the extra time to make sure that the service you provide is, above and beyond.
One of the advice I always give to people is when you're starting in business is look after your first customer. When you do look after your first customer, others will follow. You do good customer service, people will always refer you to other people. That's how you grow. I mean, it's always, you always have to treat, when if someone trusts you with something, say a service, or they're giving you money to promote their business for you, in my case, I always treat them as like my own business. So, I say, what would I do different if it was my own business? So every client I teach, every client that I have, I treat them as like my own business. So because how would I do this if I was running my own business? So you're right. You got to treat your customer with care, and they will bring you business. They'll now, like, I'm sure your business is all now. Do you do any marketing, or is it referral you get most of the time from your business? Or
yeah, so we do provide a bit of content marketing. So copywriting is part of your marketing strategy. So planning that and how it fits in to other your other marketing channels you use. So yeah, definitely. Yes, I don't. It's not just purely copywriting. There's sort of marketing planning and marketing strategy as well.
Cool. Where do you see your business in, say, 5 years' time? Where do you want to be with you? See yourself in 5 years and your business in the future?
So one of the areas, I have done training at various different levels around communications, and coached people individually within the organisation, gone and done workshops, and that's something I want to develop. So I want to upskill people, particularly some entrepreneurs, people, in how to influence through copywriting and wider communications. It's so many simple ways you can do it that will make a massive difference. And and so that if it's writing, every time they write, whether it's an email, on LinkedIn, a social media post, it's having the right response. It's converting people to a call to action. So so developing my training side, that's something I'd see for my business.
Fantastic. So Nick, for the viewers, if you want to get contact with Nick, I will leave all the information, his social link down below. And also, you also have a group, don't you? You have your own Facebook group. Do you want to quickly touch on that? So, and how someone could, what kind of values do you provide in the group? So I could send a link down after this.
Of course, great. Thanks, Muktadir. So I've got a Facebook group called the #1 Copywriting Community, and if you want to improve your copywriting, and it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you're just do it at a very base level, or you're already involved in copywriting, so I have regular tips, strategies. I share resources to help things you can implement straight away and you can put into practice, put into effect. And so it's just to upskill people and improve everyone's level of skill copywriting. So it's #1 Copywriting Community, and it's free to join.
The members are growing. The last time I looked at your group is rapidly growing as well. So guys, make sure I will leave a link below after this live discussion. You could go and follow Nick in his group, his Facebook. Please do, because if you're a marketer or if you're starting a business online, copywriting is a very essential skill, and you should definitely join his group. I will also link your social media, other social media platform. Are you LinkedIn as well, Nick?
I am. So my name's Nick Ronald. So if you search for that, I think it's Nick Ronald 1. If you search on LinkedIn, Nick Ronald, feel free to connect. So I'm always open to fellow network, and certainly open to collaborating and connecting new people. So LinkedIn, Facebook. But if you join the group, then you can message me through that, or certainly LinkedIn. Happy to connect with you.
Guys, I'll leave a link down below after this live session. Anyway, Nick, thank you very much. It was lovely to have you today. I've got a lot of values, and I'm sure our audience will get a lot of values when they watch this. A lot of people are going to be, it's a lovely weather today. A lot of people are going to be watching this in repeat. And I will leave your link down after this call. You was my pleasure to have you in this call. It was very informative, and I've got a lot of value. And guys, make sure you do go and check Nick out. He's a master copywriting. Thank you, Nick. Any for me before we leave today?
Well, thanks. Great. Thanks for having me, and I'm certainly checking out your next chat next Sunday. No, just that. I hope I've shared some basic tips there. I'm going to share a couple of quick tips. So if you have a copywriting, less is more. The one biggest thing that I see people do all the time is they put too much words, and they think words add value. And the first thing people say, can you review this copy? Is I just cut things out. Short headlines, short words, short paragraphs. People have less attention span nowadays, and people skim. So less is more. So that's my one big bit of advice.
Would you say like in a bullet point will help? Like when I do my art copy for my Facebook ads, for example, I usually tend to say the attention grabber and a call to action. I put in a bullet point. Is that something? Am I going the right way when I do that? Is that how you meant to do it?
Yeah, definitely. I think, bullet points. Depending where your copy is. Advert. Yeah, definitely. It's about obviously the headline and a line of text and some bullet points, and that definitely works well. And often in adverts, a question can be quite engaging way for adverts. So are you struggling? I don't know. Give an example. Are you struggling with your personal finances? But if you ask a question, that's one of the most engaging. There's been research done that adverts most people click on that is questions. But that connect to people. But definitely bullet points are a good way of making things stand out, and that's what you want to do in the first instance is catch people's attention, make them read. If they're not going to catch attention, read, they're not going to act. But if you're looking at sort of blogs and articles and on web content websites, then obviously subheadings, bold, and spacing things out. Some of those basic things about do make a big difference.
No, absolutely. So less is in the customer.
Definitely, 100%.
Okay, Nick. It was great to have you today. It was lovely, and I've got tons of value. I'm sure when our viewers watch this video again on a replay, they will get tons of value as well. Thank you again for joining us, Nick, and have a lovely day.
Anthony, great. Excellent. Thank you, Nathan. Great. Thanks for having me. And speak soon. Cheers.
Speak to you, Nick. Bye. So, guys, that was Nick from Secret Influence. So, tune in next week, guys. I've got another guest speaker next week. I will review more later. Start of next week, next Sunday. Every Sunday, guys, I have a business speaker. Whether it's talking about copywriting, about marketing, about how to make money online. Every Sunday I'll have a guest speaker, so make sure you tune in every Sunday. And I want to provide much value to you guys, bringing in different guest speakers from different industries and different business expertise as well. So make sure you join us again next Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Anyway, guys, hope you have a fantastic day and enjoy your rest of the day. Take care. Bye.